Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today for this Nexford Virtual Tour this May. I'm super excited to see more than almost 20 attendees that have joined us already. That's amazing. We are just going to wait a few more minutes for more people to join us. So in the meantime, for those who have already started the webinar with us, can you please just drop in the webinar chat, introduce yourself, let us know more about you. What's your name? Where in the world are you joining us from today? And which Nexford program do you wish to apply to? So anybody just please feel free to jump to the webinar chat. I'll drop the first message here. Just a hello to everyone. Taiwo, I see Elizabeth, Dennis, Alan. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. Please feel free to introduce yourself on the chat while we wait for more people to join. Hi, Lois Young. Hi, where are you from? And which Nexford program do you wish to apply to? Ghana, fantastic. All right. We have a lot of learners from Ghana. We have learners from over 110 countries today. So it would be great to have you join our global learner community. Hi, Esther from Nigeria. Hello, hello. And Stephen, interested in an MBA in AI. Fantastic. So that means you've done your homework. You've checked the different specializations for our MBA. Hi, Musa. Hi, Lekraj from Mauritius. You're interested in an MBA in international business. That's a fantastic choice as well. Got Taiwo from Nigeria. Adelaide from South Africa. Great to have you. Thanks for joining us. Charabola from Sudan. Hello, hello. And Ethel from Ghana. Total Rewards and Human Resource. Fantastic. All right. Got Alan from Uganda. Jeremiah from Nigeria. Interested in an MSc in entrepreneurship. Okay, we've got an entrepreneur on the call today. Fantastic. Best of luck with that program. It's one of the newer Master of Science programs that we launched in the last year or so. We've got Vera from Nigeria, and Daniel as well, interested in MBA cybersecurity. So I see a lot of people interested in master's programs. Anybody into a bachelor's program? We have a certificate course for Taiwo, business management. Great choice. All right, all right. Who else? Hi, Daniel and Stephen, Hestia and Dennis. All right. Master of Science in Data Science. So that would be our data analytics degree, I think. So great choice also. Okay, we can wait another minute here just until more people can join us, and then we can get started. Right, Alan, who else? Okay, we have 31 attendees so far. Great, 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 great. Anybody who's just joined, don't worry, you haven't missed much. We are just getting introduced on chat while we wait for more people to join us before we officially start the virtual tour today. And just an FYI for everyone who has already joined, this webinar is being recorded, so you can watch a playback of the virtual tour webinar once it's uploaded on our YouTube channel very soon. All right. And please, guys, make sure to prepare your questions. This is why we are having this virtual tour as well today, so we can answer any pending questions that any of you have before you join our global learner community and start learning with us online in Nexford University. All right. Hi, Choma from Nigeria, interested in an MSc in digital transformation. Fantastic. Great choice. So when is everybody getting started? Is anybody aiming for the next intake? And does anybody know when the next intake is for them to start their Nexford program? I'd love to hear some thoughts on that also in the webinar chat. Right, anybody? Jeremiah starting July 1st. Fantastic. Okay, that's in about a month and a half. All right. I hope you got enrolled already, Jeremiah, and you're all set, which means you have access to our online platform already. All right. Just a few more seconds here, and I'll officially start the virtual tour. We'll have waited at least 5 minutes or so. Okay, Abu Bakar also joining July. Is anybody starting on June 1? Okay. All right, guys, 6 minutes in, so let's get started. I'll introduce myself. My name is Mai, and I'm a senior Nexford application specialist. I have been with Nexford for more than 4 years now, and during that time, I've spoken with so many aspiring such as yourselves. And one of the common questions I get is, how exactly will I be studying online at Nexford? How is the online platform like? Is it similar to other online programs I've tried before? How is it different? Are there exams? Will I feel alone? How can I connect with other Nexford learners, or how can I speak with faculty or professors? Am I going to receive any kind of support? What are the career opportunities, and so on. There are a ton of questions, and I'm super happy to answer any of those I just mentioned and more as well today. We'll do our best to do that in the Q&A or question and answer portion at the end of the webinar today. So for anybody just joining in, we're just getting introduced at this moment, so you haven't missed much, and the webinar is being recorded, so you can watch a playback once it's uploaded on our YouTube channel very soon. So we're also here to answer questions today. So there is a Q&A box or a Q&A portion in your Zoom application. Please make sure to drop your questions there. I know people tend to drop their questions in the webinar chat, which is fine. We'll do our best to pick those up as well. But in the middle of the different things that we might be sending in the webinar chat, there's a chance we could miss it, and we don't want that. So it would be best if you send your question in the Q&A box so we can make sure we don't miss it, and we'll be taking those questions live at the end. We also have a Nexford application specialist in the background with us today who will be answering questions on chat also, just to manage the questions, so we make sure we can assist everybody in case we don't have time to answer every question live in the 15 or so minute portion at the end for Q&A. All right, so having said all that, let's get started. So I've introduced myself already. I'd love to introduce the lovely people with me on the webinar today, helping me co-host. So we have a faculty member, Dr. Bill Reed, and we have two Nexford learners or graduates, Olaoluwa and Abdul Shakur. So I'd love for you guys to introduce yourselves too. If we can get started just with Dr. Bill, if you can let everybody know a bit about you, please.
Yes, thank you, Mai. Hi, I am Dr. Bill. I live about 100 kilometers south of New York City, and we are just getting into our summertime here, and it's the first day where it's going to be really hot, so we're kind of happy about that a little bit. I've been with Nexford for just over 3 years. I've been teaching online for over 25 years, so that makes me a little old, and it makes me a little informative of what we can do online. I've been doing it for quite a while. I think the important thing is not to let the technology get in the way. Technology is a supporting tool to your learning. It's not a hindrance to it. So we're going to go over that, but in a few minutes, I'll be back and we'll talk about the platform that we do this on. But in the meantime, it's great to see you here, and congratulations on thinking about expanding your education and your knowledge. I think Nexford is a great place to do that, and you're going to see some of the courses we have and how we do it. And I hope you find it enjoyable, but I'll be back in a few minutes and I'll talk to you more then. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Dr. Bill. All right, if we can next have Olaoluwa, if you can introduce yourself, tell everybody a bit about yourself, which Nexford program you're studying, and anything else you want to say, maybe about yourself or your career, just feel free, please.
Hi, thank you for having me. My name is Olaoluwa Areo. I'm a current learner, an MBA learner at Nexford University, specialization in artificial intelligence. For me, Nexford has been nothing short of an experience in research, learning, meeting a lot of new people, expanding my network, growing my network, and it's been an exciting experience. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. All right, Abdul Shakur, if you can please also introduce yourself for everybody and tell us a bit about you and which Nexford program you're studying.
All right, thank you very much. I'm Harruna Abdul Shakur, a current MBA student, and I'm specializing in sustainability. So throughout my studies, the studies has been very inspiring and challenging sometimes because combining work and then also academics is a bit challenging, but due to the learning infrastructure and also the assistance you could get from your professors and also your own colleagues, it makes the learning much easier and comfortable. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, guys, we've gotten introduced. For anybody who has just joined us, I can see we have 42 attendees so far. Just a reminder, this webinar is being recorded. You can watch a playback once it's uploaded on our YouTube channel. And a second reminder to drop your questions in the Q&A box or the Q&A section, and we will get to those questions at the latter or the the end of this webinar today. So I see two questions are already dropped there, and in fact we've got 3 others that have been answered. So fantastic! I can see that you guys can follow instructions and you know where to go to drop your questions. So that's good. I'm excited to answer more of those questions towards the end. All right. Having said that, I will start sharing my screen so everybody can have an idea how the online platform looks like. All right. Great. Apologies, guys. Give me a second here. All right, with a show of hands, we just love for everybody to confirm once they are able to see my screen. If you could just raise your hand. All right. Okay, fantastic. I see many people can. Who have we got? All right, Joy, Tanya, Sylvester, Turna, Keith, Christiana, thank you so much for confirming. Okay, so I will assume everybody can see my screen. So what you're currently looking at is the homepage of our online learning platform at Nexford. The learning management system we use is called Canvas. It is very user-friendly, and I'm happy to go through some of its different features today so you can have an idea. You will need a PC or a laptop to be able to access this platform. However, there is a mobile application you can use as well. So it's called Canvas Student, as you can see. And this mobile app, anybody can download it. You don't have to be an Android user. If you have an iPhone as well, you can download it. It's also super user-friendly. It's important to know that you're going to get login information to be able to access this online platform. Just fix the view here, guys. Yeah, there we go. All right. So to be able to access this mobile application, you need to get enrolled at Nexford. Once you get enrolled, you get your login credentials, your login information. So that means your username and your password, and you need that to be able to access the online platform. So everyone is welcome to download Canvas Student already, the application. You can search for Nexford University, but you will not be able to access the online platform yet until you get enrolled. So the same case applies to the PC version, also on a PC or a laptop, right? So you're going to need to have your login information already to be able to access this. And once you do, the great thing about getting enrolled early is that you receive early access to all of the Nexford Learner benefits. So that includes a lot of what we're going to discuss today, what we're going to go through. If you choose to get enrolled today, for example, and start your program in July 1 or August 1, you have that option. Anybody can get enrolled anytime and choose a future start date if they are not ready yet, but they want to secure their spot already, in the Nexford platform and, in a certain intake, and they want to receive early access to the learner benefits that we are also going to go through today. So with that, let's get started with what you're currently seeing in front of you. These boxes represent courses that you're enrolled in or a resource you always have access to, such as the writing lab. All right, so we will also discuss the writing lab a little later on, but I wanted to go through the NXU orientation with everybody. But I'll stop sharing my screen for a second here, guys, just because I can see that I have the older version, I would say, of the NXU orientation, and I will discuss what that is. But as a start, can anybody guess what NXU stands for? I see Lecrash saying Canvas is the best. I'm happy to see that. All right, so okay, please explain more about Canvas Student before we proceed. Okay, I'm glad to see people already have questions so far. All right. I want to clarify, guys, of course, I am not a Nexford learner. However, this is a demo account, and this is pretty much how you're going to be able to see the online platform. So I just logged out and logged back in. It may not be working here at the moment today. I'm not sure what's wrong, guys. I should be enrolled in the newer version of the NXU Orientation, but I'm not. So I just want to clarify that you will be seeing a newer version of this once you're enrolled. This is just a demo account. I'll just share my screen again, guys, and we can resume. Hey, Daniel got it right. I can see that Daniel said NXU is Nexford University. That's spot on. Yes, NXU is Nexford University. So if you see that abbreviated anywhere, that's what that's referring to. I see a lot of people are interested in Canvas. That's amazing. Okay, Esther got it right as well. And Shihu, wonderful. I'm glad to see you guys are, focused with me. That's amazing. All right, so we're back here. So NXU Orientation, yes, it stands for Nexford University. And again, Canvas is the online learning platform that we're using. It's the learning management system that we're using, which is what you're looking at. This is Canvas. This is what you're logging into. It's only in Nexford's colors, our black, yellow, and white. And the same would apply to the mobile application. So there is a mobile app called Canvas Student. Everybody's welcome to download it, on your Android phone or your iPhone, and it's very user-friendly. You can do your studying on your phone. You can access your courses any time of the day, any time of the week, while you're commuting, on the go, anytime, and you can check your grades. You can even do some assignments. You can speak with fellow learners, and professors as well, and so much more. However, you are required to have a PC or a laptop to be doing your studying, most of the studying. It's way easier to do the assignments on a PC or a laptop. And, if you're studying a degree program, if you're enrolled in a degree program, you're actually required to have a PC or a laptop for some of the proctored assessments. So those are the closest things at Nexford that we have to exams, because we do not have exams. It's not like a traditional university. You're being graded depending on your performance in your courses. And by that, I mean how you grade, on your assignments and your final projects. And that's what forms your overall GPA at Nexford. And then for degree learners, we have proctored assessments at the start, in the middle, and the end of your degree program. So that can be anywhere between 3 to 4 times, depending on the length of your degree program, whether it's a master's or a bachelor's of up to 4 years, in an average duration. So for those, you will need to have your camera on, it's being recorded, and it's kind of like a test, and it's timed. And that is the closest thing that we have to an exam. If anybody has further questions about proctored assessments, just drop them in the Q&A box or the Q&A segment. I recommend everybody to drop their questions there. Most of it will be answered along the webinar by the Nexford application specialist we have assisting us today. Otherwise, if there are any remaining questions in the end, we will be taking them live as well. So I hope that has answered the question for everybody in regards to Canvas, Canvas and Canvas Student, also the mobile app. And with that, let's continue. So I was talking about the NXU Orientation, guys, and let me show you how that looks like. So NXU Orientation is a very short course. It'd be required to complete before you start the official Nexford program that you have gotten enrolled in. So it's not a course you're being graded on. It is kind of your welcome package once you get enrolled at Nexford. It has 4 modules, but like I mentioned, this is the older version I have that I'm enrolled here. So you might see 3 modules, but it should have 4 modules with the closing. And all that it's about is that it tells you everything you need to know about the online platform. It gets you introduced to, the different types of support you're going to be having throughout your journey. You're going to learn all about the university policies and the grading system, and so much more. So it's going to equip you with everything you need to know to succeed and to be able to navigate through the online platform. And it can be as completed in as little as 30 minutes. So the orientation course is, it's not very long, and you're not being graded for it. So I hope that's, clear for everybody. Okay, so I'm in module 1 in the introduction part of the orientation. Right from the beginning, you'll see that there's a welcome video from our founder and our CEO, Fadl Tarzi, where he tells everybody a bit more about Nexford and how we got started. So I'd love to play this for everybody just for a few seconds.
I'm Fadl. It's been said that the future is a convenient place for dreams, so why not dream big? I've always known education changes lives, but I first realized its impact over a decade ago. On my entrepreneurial journey, I saw a gap between the skills of college graduates and the needs of employers. With my own startups, I struggled to find people with the right competencies. For example, I couldn't find a software engineer with effective communication skills. I couldn't find the creative designers who could plan. I thought to myself, is this why unemployment stats of college graduates grab so many media headlines? And it's not a graduate's fault. Burdened by heavy debt, cohorts of learners walk away from university unprepared for the workplace. That's why I set out to create a university for you, one that I'm convinced has the potential to positively impact lives as well as millions worldwide. I'm Fadel Altarzi, and I can proudly say that I'm the founder and CEO of Nexford University.
Guys, that is just a sneak peek for you. Hopefully you can watch it in its entirety once you get enrolled at Nexford. I do want to say that this video right here is a small example of the different and dynamic elements through which you're going to be doing your studying at Nexford. So it's not just going to be a lot of text. We don't want our learners falling asleep. You'll find videos like these. You'll find embedded audio clips. You'll find links to outside resources, sometimes embedded YouTube videos, little exercises here and there. There's always something to keep you engaged. And I hope we get the chance today to show you some of that within some of the courses. And for every video, you'll see that there's a written transcript that you can download, which can be super useful, of course, for the heavier, modules or courses a little later on. And as you scroll through the orientation, we're going to tell you all about the learning communities that you can join from the start. So we do have a program for peer mentors. Let me go to that first. So peer mentors, these are fellow Nexford learners. That's a learning community. They're there dedicated to help you make you feel welcome in the online platform, to give you tips and tricks. It's super useful, and we can pair you with a peer mentor. So this is something you can ask our learner success team about. I will explain who our learner success team a little later on. But also there are learner WhatsApp groups, and these are super useful to join from the beginning. It's great to have a study buddy from the start of your Nexford learning journey. Because we have learners from more than 110 countries around the world today, you'll find learner WhatsApp groups, that are either country-specific, program-specific, or intake-specific. So you can find so many various ones that you can join. If you don't find one of your liking or suited to your program or country or so on, you can always start your own WhatsApp group. Let our learner success team know, share the link with them, and they'll share it with other learners so that they may also join that learner WhatsApp group so that it may suit you. Right. And as you go through the orientation again, we'll tell you about the university policies. So, and all the different offerings that we have. So you'll learn how the courses are ordered, how you can add more than one course at the same time. If you ever need to take a break from your program, is that possible? The answer is yes. And we call that a leave of absence. So everybody has a leave allowance of up to 4 months if you're studying our master's program, and up to 8 months if you're studying our bachelor's program, our BBA. If ever you need an extension because you have some emergency or something going on in your life, and we understand that life happens, you can always communicate this to our learner success team, and they will do their best to help you. So that is something that I know I get questions for a lot, is will I ever be able to take a break from the program? And I mentioned the leave allowance being anywhere from 4 to 8 months depending on your degree program. Important to note that those are taken a month at a time, meaning you cannot just take a break for 1 week or 5 days and then resume your program. And this is because our courses start in the beginning of every month, and there's a certain course timeline that needs to be followed along that month, of which you are going to learn also very well early on. What is that timeline? You're going to know all about the different deadlines, and you'll have reminders for it and so much more. So don't worry, this is all covered in the orientation, and you'll be reminded time and time again throughout your Nexford learning journey. I'm sure the learners that we have today helping me co-host are going to be able to tell you more about that specific experience. So this is the orientation, guys. Hopefully you can watch it in its entirety once you get enrolled. You'll see here also, that you do get access to Microsoft 365 Office and all of its tools as you're studying at Nexford, and the different types of support that you receive, one of which is the success advisors, which I mentioned earlier, our learner success team. They are comprised of success advisors, and their role is literally in their title, which is related to success. They are there to help you succeed. You'll see that success advisors will often reach out to you before you even think of reaching out to them. And this is because they track your progress. They want to make sure that you're succeeding, and they can help you with anything learning related throughout your journey. If you need assistance reaching out to your professor, if you want to speak with other learners, if you're struggling in the online platform, anything at all, or even if you just need help with goal setting and meeting a certain timeline, for your studies or something like that, they will assist you. And the great thing is, because we have success advisors posted all around the world, this means there's 24/7 access to communicate with them. You can WhatsApp them, you can schedule a call with them, you can send them an email. So they'll always be available to assist you. And those are our success advisors. They really are going to be your best friend throughout your journey, and will, have some questions and answers also about success advisors specifically today. So that is the orientation course, guys. Like you saw, it's quite short. I mentioned it having 4 modules, whereas every standard Nexford course has 6 modules and a final project. So one of those courses is leadership and organizational development. I want to give you an example and show you how that looks like in the inside. So every course has sort of the same setup with longer table of contents. As you can see, more items there. There's a course navigation to show you each section and what it covers. If you want to see who is the professor that is teaching this course that you're enrolled in, due to start next month, for example, just go to the people section right here. Again, I'm not an expert learner, so this is a demo account. So normally you would see much more learners enrolled in the same course for a certain intake. You just need to look at the column of role and look for teacher. And in this case, it is Dr. Bill Reed, who is, luckily with us on the call today. So I would love to give the mic to Dr. Bill here. If you can tell everybody a bit more about the leadership and organizational development course in the MBA.
Thank you, Mai. Thank you, Mai. Yeah, you're going to see I'm getting some feedback here. Okay. One of the things I think students are most concerned with is the manner in which they're going to learn. This is the platform. I've seen many, many different platforms. This one, as Mai said, is called Canvas. To me, it is one of the most user-friendly platforms out there. One thing I suggest to all new learners in the program, spend a little bit of time going through the platform, hitting these different buttons, see where they take you, and learn it. You're not going to hurt anything. If you spend a half hour, 45 minutes becoming familiar with this, either in the orientation program or before you start your course, you're going to be comfortable with this in a few hours. If you don't do what I just said, it's going to take a couple days. But one way or the other, it's not that hard to do. As I mentioned, over on the left column, you have the master controls on the left side, which will include your messages and so on, the courses you're taking in that. The second column there under home is the actual course we're talking about. You'll have announcements that'll outline the different modules. It'll review your assignments. It'll show you your grades. It'll show you who is in the class with you. So, Maya, if you would just open module allow 2 or 3, whichever one comes up there, and I'll show you what the interior of a module looks like. This is the work you're going to do in the module. It clearly outlines the steps you take. Module 1, as it says here, this will give you the instructions on what you're going to do. It'll give you the reading requirements. It'll give you the steps. And then it'll list at the end the assignment, what you're expected to do in the assignment. It's a written assignment. And then there'll be a place for you to submit your assignment. That's the simple version of it. It's really no more complicated than that. It's just a matter of getting used to it. Like any other website you might have gone to, it takes a couple of steps to become familiar with it, to look at it, but after a very short time, you'll become familiar with it. Keeping in mind, this tool, this learner management system, Canvas, is a tool to help you learn. It's not a hindrance. It's here to give you the information you need and provide a way for us to communicate with you. You can contact your instructor through the course, and so on. And you can see all the instructions here that are coming up that's going to guide you what the course is about, what to do. At any time in any course, not just mine, but you have the option of getting help through the success team or through the instructor in the course. We are available to you. I personally am in the course room at least all 7 days of the week, even if it's just to check questions. But you'll find in here how to do the assignments. If there's self-assessments, in this course there is a self-assessment on a leadership assessment tool. And that is, again, measures how you think, what you do, and how you address issues. This all culminates and leads toward your degree. This is one piece of it. you'll see that we have a lot of ways to do this. We'll give you specific instructions what to do. Plus, you'll often find supplemental information that you're able to use in your study. We even tell you, as you just saw their course competency, what you're expected to learn from this particular part of the course. So it's very specific. Also, you will see in here, we actually give you, it's called the rubrics of the course. I call it the roadmap. As you start to do your assignment, you should review the rubrics to see what we're looking for you to demonstrate. And then you can just follow that roadmap, answering your questions and so on. The courses are not difficult in each unit. When you get to the end, you say, hey, we accomplished something here. We covered some ground. These are the different assignments that you can see also. So it's not all that difficult to mechanically get through the course. Some of the variations on your writing skills, your reading skills. Some of you have been out of school for a while. Others are familiar with it. So in each course, as you move towards your graduation, you're going to be refining your writing and your reading skills, and most importantly, the critical analysis skills. This is the rubric that I was referring to. Each of them have a number of criteria and then a rating, from very good to not so good. And you'll get this feedback completed by the faculty member who's reviewing your paper. And then at the end, there's also a spot where we can make general comments and explain how we rated you and why we did what we did, and make suggestions for improvements. I strongly suggest you read this information so you can build and learn and improve. It is important. We do follow a writing guide. We have a writing area where you can learn about that. If you're in my course, you'll hear about it, because I'm a big believer in writing appropriately. And that's also important when you're filling out letters of application or resumes and so on. But we use what's called the APA style. We can explain that to you in the orientation. And it's not difficult. It's intimidating, but it's not difficult. And once we show you what you need to know, it's simple. You can probably make your notes on one page and use it for the rest of your courses throughout. So the process is that way. If you ever get stuck, if you ever have a question, which will happen, you will hit a point where you're going to say, I can't do this. I don't understand this question. I don't know what the professor is talking about. And you're very, very frustrated. That's usually the point where you're going to learn something very important. And it happens all the time through the courses. It's happened to me. It happens to almost everyone I know. So the important thing is just sit back, take a break, walk away, come back, contact your professor, contact the success team. If it's an academic question, contact your professor. Often it's just a simple thing. And then the light bulb comes on, and then you get going again until you hit another hurdle. That's called learning. And this is the process we use to help you get through that. So I'm going to be around. This presentation is primarily geared to give you some information, then handle your questions, which is really the important part. So I'm going to cut my talk here short right now. I'm going to let Mai complete what she's doing, and I'll be back later on to answer any questions you may have. So thank you very much.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Dr. Bill. I hope everybody learned a little bit more also about how the courses are set up, especially the grading rubric also that Dr. Bill mentioned. I would like to, have some questions here for the learners with us co-hosting today. So I'd like to start with Abdul Shakur, since we are talking about the learning experience. Can you tell us a bit about your studying style with Nexford, and how are you able to manage your study schedule around your life?
All right, thank you very much. So Nexford University, when it comes to our learning structure, is very flexible. And due to its flexibility, it's able to suit my lifestyle. So one thing I do is that I typically set aside some specific blocks of time each day to be able to do my coursework, to be able to learn my slides, and also go through all the documents updated on the portal for me to review them in order to be able to do my assignments. So usually in the mornings or late in the evenings, that's when I'm much active to be able to learn and do my assignments, so that I'll be able to cope my studies with my education. And due to the fact that the platform is accessible 24/7, so whichever time that you would like to learn, you can just go onto the platform to learn. Whichever time you want to submit your assignment, you can go on the platform, you can contact your professor, and within 24 hours, you'll be able to get a feedback from your professor. Yeah. So balancing my coursework and then also my work at the same time, it's a very difficult task. But because I'm having the flexibility to do my assignment, the flexibility to do my studies 24/7, I'm able to balance it effectively. And also, I also make use of the interactive resources, that is communicating with my colleague learners, either on WhatsApp, on LinkedIn, getting in touch with them, being able to text them on WhatsApp. And also, one major factor is being able to contact the success team to seek for further assistance when it comes to either something I don't understand on the portal, how to navigate some sections on the portal. Because I remember one last time I wanted to text my professor to make a request on a review of my assignment. And after contacting the success team, they were able to direct me through how I'll be able to contact my supervisor, and I was able to achieve the results that I wanted. So with all these, I'm able to ensure a track in my learning and also balancing it effectively with my work. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing, Abdul Shakur. I think that was very useful. It, can give everybody an idea also how they may be able to balance, with their life, and it's definitely doable. I want to add to that also for everybody that everybody has their own pace. We do offer a flexible pace structure for studying at Nexford, and when I say flexible pace, I mean anybody can finish faster or slower, depending on their ability to complete courses faster or take more than one course at the same time to finish their overall degree or their overall program faster. And the faster you finish, the less you pay, because you only pay for the number of months you spend studying at Nexford. But I do want to say that you need to understand your pace, right? Which means, what you can accomplish in 1 hour may not be the same that another learner can accomplish in that same hour, and so on. So I think, the great thing is that you will not be alone. You'll have support from other, success advisors and other fellow learners also, especially if you join these different communities from the beginning of your program. I think if anybody's able to dedicate anywhere between 10 or 15 or even 20 hours per week studying, they'll be able to be on top of their degree program and, finish well under the average duration. So thank you again, Abdul Shakur, for sharing that. I think I want to ask a question here also for Olaoluwa, if you can just say any notable things about your experience with assessments, assignment submissions, as well as professor feedback.
Thank you very much. When I started Nexford, when I started out Nexford rather, I wondered how the examinations would be. But you see, Nexford doesn't, at Nexford, you don't write examinations. We do tests, we do assignments, we do quizzes. And the beautiful thing about the assignments is that, especially if you are taking more than one course within a term, you find out that you are doing a lot of work within the shortest period of time. So combining like 2 to 3 courses, and you have probably 2 to 3 assignments to submit in a week. And many of these assignments require a lot of researches. So you might be submitting a 1 page, 2 page, 3 page assignment, and you're doing lots of research on it. Now, that does a whole lot. It's makes you understand the subject topic very well, very deep. You have a very in-depth understanding of the subject topic, even more than what an examination would be. Because most times when we see write examinations, it's probably what you've seen in your notebooks or what you've read. But this you're doing your research, you're studying, you're making your findings, you're exploring new things on your own. And that's the beautiful thing about the assignments. Assignments will make you get new knowledge, to open your mind. You explore, you even see more than what you have seen and more than what you've actually learned in the classroom. Another thing about Nextword is referencing is a must. Referencing is a must. You must reference, otherwise you lose your marks. You might even be marked down. And another thing I enjoyed about Nextword again is you don't pick chunks of material from a site. You have to you must put your assignments in your own words. So Nextword doesn't just test what you are given, but it tests your ability to put what you have brought in your own words, how well you understand it. So I am Nextword tests for excellence, not just for success, not just for performance. So basically that's just that about the assessments and the assignments. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. Can I ask you also, Olaoluwa, have you had the chance to, make friends with any other Nexford learners around the globe so far, or any networking opportunities?
Yes, thank you very much. So, Nexford for me, one of the reasons why I joined Nexford was for networking opportunities, and I'm using it to the fullest. I belong to a lot of WhatsApp group. Nexford has a wide community, a wide WhatsApp community, and there are a lot of groups there. As an ambassador of Nexford, I also belong to the athletes group, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying a lot of connections. Just recently, I had a lot of I had the privilege of following a lot of people on LinkedIn. So I've met a lot of people. I've interacted with a lot of people, and it keeps going on. It keeps going on.
Fantastic. No, I'm glad to hear that you're aware of the, different networking opportunities with with Nexford specifically, even before you got started, and the fact that you're tapping into that is amazing. I think it is a lost opportunity for some learners if, they're a bit shy and they don't feel like really joining the different WhatsApp groups or different communities. But there are a ton of ways you can communicate with fellow learners from around the world, or within your own community, right? Or within your own country, or within the same program. So it really depends. Tapping into that also for LinkedIn is one of the best ways you can start networking, and even some of the degree programs specifically encourage you to do that and teach you how to do that in the best way to really learn how to network. So hopefully we can cover that a little later on today, also talking about the different learner benefits. All right, thank you, Olaoluwa. So Abdul Shakur, can I ask you also, how have you found the success team support during your learning journey? And, have you been able to reach out to fellow learners sometimes for help instead of success advisors?
That's very true. So as I earlier mentioned, the success team, when I started, they've been very supportive, and they are incredible to my academic success to date. And one thing I like about the success team is that immediately you send a WhatsApp message. Let me just take my phone, send a WhatsApp message. Within 5 minutes, I'll get a reply. Whatever time you get a reply. And if it's an issue, they will direct you to either the IT or any other person. Just rightly, they will direct you to the person to solve that issue for you. And because the success team, whatever thing I'm doing on my portal, the first time I received a message from them concerning my track records or I was very shocked, because they track whatever thing I do every month. And they'll tell me, okay, you're on track. This month you ended with this particular grade. So it also helps you to learn, because whatever thing you are doing, the other people out there that are much interested in what you are doing to push you to attain your success. And then when it comes to making friends, that's one thing that has also benefited me a lot, because joining platforms as a WhatsApp platform for all Ghanaian students who are on Nexford, all Nigerian students. So I belong to all these WhatsApp platforms. And there are few people who are fast learners on the platform. So the person could be able to do about 4 models within a week, and the person will come back and share with us that, hey, this assignment, this is how you're supposed to do it. You have to track it this way. You have to do your research this way. So within that same community, aside our professors, aside the success team, our own colleagues come back to the platform, teach you 1 or 2 things that you don't understand, communicate with you some of the remarks that probably the professors or the tutors have given with regards to the assignment, and it makes the learning very interactive. And also have to understand that we are all from different backgrounds, and somebody enrolled as a learner pursuing his MBA or a different course might be having an extra skill. That's when you meet the person online, you can benefit from that skill. Okay, so I've currently benefited from somebody who is a software developer. Okay, and the person is currently developing a software for my business currently. I don't know that I've not met the person face to face. It's just online through Nexford. Okay, and the person is building my business software so that we could be able to increase our productivity. Sure. Thank you.
Amazing. Amazing. Thanks so much for sharing, Abdul Shakur. All right, guys. I see we have more participants than when we started. So if anybody has just joined late, I see some people raising their hands. If you have questions, please make sure to send them in the Q&A box or the Q&A segment. We do have questions that are being answered already in the background by an Nexford application specialist. Again, just a reminder, this webinar is being recorded, so you can watch the playback once it's uploaded on our YouTube channel very soon. And I'll start sharing my screen again, guys, because there are just a couple more things in the online platform and about the Nexford learner benefits that I want to cover today before we start taking questions. So please prepare your questions so we're ready for them at the last portion of the webinar today. All right, I am sharing my screen again, guys. We're back in the main dashboard here. So I know Dr. Bill mentioned the left side navigation pane here that follows you wherever you go in the online platform. You'll see here, this is always on the side right there. So this will help you navigate through any section. Like if you want to go to your account settings, dashboard will always take you to the home page here. Courses will give you an overview of the courses that you are currently enrolled in. And then we have history just to take you back to the previous or the most recent pages that you accessed in the online platform. This is very useful when you're studying and navigating through different pages. And then you have this Ask NXU tool. So if anytime you have a question that you feel is quite basic and you don't necessarily need to reach out to a success advisor or a faculty member for, you might find some common, frequently asked questions here that you can check the response to, or you can type something out if you have a question about the orientation, for example. You might find an answer for it here with some information. And then sometimes if the question doesn't, or the information doesn't quite answer you, you'll see some additional contact info that you can use to reach out for more support to help you further. So I really recommend, just not to forget about this Ask NXU Virtual Advisor. It's always there to assist you throughout your program. And then we have got, let's jump into the calendar. So the calendar is one of, you'll see here that there are items that get added to your calendar automatically depending on what you're enrolled in. You can play around with the filter or the view a bit. If I remove NXU Orientation, you'll see that getting added and removed. This way you never miss out on any important reminder. And these colors are something that you can control. They're color coded depending on the dashboard here. You can click on any course and pick a different color. These are just some fun features that can help you get more organized in the platform as well as in the calendar. You can even do a color overlay to really differentiate between the different courses if you like. And so that makes the most difference in the calendar. And then you can add, just by clicking anywhere, you can add your own event or your own to-do item. If you want to flesh that out a little bit more to have more information, just click on more options to add more details to that calendar event. You'll see the window pop up here. You can add more details with a lot of formatting, the dates and everything. Do you want it to repeat or not? And then just create the event. And the important thing is that this can be synchronized with your PC or your laptop or your mobile phone. So that way you never miss out on any important reminders and you're connected on all your different devices. All right, and then we also have the inbox. So it's one of the easiest ways you can communicate with fellow learner faculty members. You also receive sometimes announcements from faculty members straight to your inbox, whether it be from, the success team or maybe the tech team or something like that. But if you go to the compose a new message button here and click on that, you just need to select a course that you're currently enrolled in, let's say leadership and organizational development. Do you want to speak with a teacher or a student? Let's say you want to speak with a student named Abigail. Just put in your subject and your message and send. And it is that easy to communicate with anybody and just send them a message. This is, of course, available also on the mobile application Canvas Student, which we mentioned earlier today. All right, and then finally, we also have the writing lab. So I mentioned that these boxes represent courses that you're enrolled in, right? Or a resource you always have access to, such as the writing lab. I know Dr. Bill mentioned this also earlier today. So what is the writing lab? We know that not everybody is a natural born writer. And for the types of assignments you may be required to do at Nexford, there may be types of formatting or otherwise that you're not accustomed to, you haven't used before, you need a little extra assistance on, and this is what the writing lab is there for. So this place will help you with your academic writing. It'll help you improve your research skills and so much more. If you jump to the module section, you'll see some papers there to cover style guide and different ways of formatting, such as APA formatting. And then you'll see even tips and some videos. So some of these are recorded for English grammar, for paragraph structure, and so on. And then we have some frequently asked questions. So if this still doesn't assist you, don't forget that you can still reach out to your professor, you can still reach out to our success team or even fellow learners. So there's a ton of support you can still receive, but the writing lab is a huge help, as I often hear from a lot of learners. That is just one of the many learner benefits when you're studying at Nexford. The other is the NXU library. So the NXU library is a robust library of over 60 million resources that cover so many different topics. We can jump to a specific group, but instead I'd just like to scroll through some of them so you can have an idea. You'll see that these include encyclopedias, databases, ebooks, articles, news articles, and so much more. So it's a great research tool for you to utilize while you're studying at Nexford. And again, 60 million resources is a lot. So you will have access to this throughout your whole learning journey. That is the NXU library. And then, of course, we have LinkedIn Learning. So if you haven't heard of LinkedIn Learning, it is connected to LinkedIn. And normally you need a paid subscription to be able to access LinkedIn Learning courses. But as a Nexford learner, you get free and unlimited access to LinkedIn Learning at no additional cost. And that is to over 16,000 LinkedIn Learning courses and videos. Some of them run for just 5 minutes. Some of them can be courses that can take 4 hours. So it really depends on your area of interest. And the great thing is it does not have to be related to the Nexford course that you're currently studying. So if you are studying, let's say, an MBA, in e-commerce, and you're interested in marketing, maybe you could look for marketing courses on LinkedIn Learning, and that way you can learn an additional skill that you can add to the degree program that you're studying already. But if in fact you want to take a LinkedIn Learning course or video that is related to the Nexford program that you're studying, the great thing is that within the actual courses, we drop suggestions for you within the modules for LinkedIn Learning videos or courses that you can take that is related to that specific module within that course. So for example, if you go to modules here for this MBA course that we mentioned earlier today, you'll see there's an expand area where we are suggesting you take LinkedIn Learning Change Management Foundations along with this module and so on. We have that as well for module 2. We didn't do that for module 3. Instead, you're having an assignment right there. And then we have an expand area for module 4 and so on. So that is one of the benefits also of having partnered up with LinkedIn Learning. And the great thing is when you do complete any LinkedIn Learning course or video, you do receive a certificate of completion. And it's a great thing to add to your CV or your resume. You're showing your employer or your community that you're learning on the go, you're learning additional skills. You're not just waiting to complete your degree program to learn these skills or apply them. And it's truly a great thing to add also to LinkedIn if you are, in fact, active also on LinkedIn. Okay, and that is just one of our many career services at Nexford. So I want to mention the rest. So LinkedIn Learning is definitely one of those and how we help you with your career and employability while you're studying at Nexford. We also have IBM Digital Nation Africa or IBM DNA. It's a program that is available only for African learners or those based in Africa. It is also at no extra cost, and it's for those that are more interested in tech or web or programming or AI or cybersecurity. Then this would be the place for you. And then we have Forage. It's already a free resource. Let me show you here. Anybody can go to theforage.com/simulations to learn more about it. So we partnered up with Forage, where it's a career resource where you can get virtual work experience, but at real companies like JP Morgan and Accenture. It can complement the learning that and the skills that you're learning at Nexford. You can apply those, and you can choose to share your task submissions with recruiters, which can lead to interview opportunities for internships. So you'll see some of these run from 1 to 2 hours. Some of them can run from 3 to 4 hours or 6 to 7. So they can be quite robust. It's definitely a challenge, but it's an option there for you. It's for free. And you'll see that also under the modules area here, for example, we drop suggestions for you also. So here we are recommending you take this virtual work experience program from Forage called Sydney School of Entrepreneurship and so on. Right. And that is more about our features. I know sometimes I get questions like, how can I retain access to all of this? So once you graduate from Nexford, you become an alumni. You can join our alumni access program for a subscription of $15 a year, per month, or $150 per year. And that way you will still be able to visit all of the content within the program that you studied at Nexford. You'll have still your Microsoft 365 license. You'll have LinkedIn Learning access, access to our, our library, our digital library that I showed you guys earlier, and also IBM DNA or Digital Nation Africa if you are in fact based in Africa. And that is called our Alumni Access Program. All right, guys. So yeah, there's honestly so much to cover in the online platform, but I did want to discuss different learner benefits, and I hope that has helped, inform a lot of people if you had not had the chance to check that out on our website already. So I think we're nearing already the end of the webinar. We might be running over here, so I do appreciate the 55 attendees that are still with us on the call. We'll just take some final questions from Abdul Shakur and Olaoluwa, and then we can start taking some Q&A. So Abdul Shakur, I just want to ask you here if you can just tell us about your Nexford learning journey in general, like what were some of your favorite parts and what were maybe some of your challenges?
All right, thank you very much. So one of my favorite parts when it comes to my Nexford learning journey, it's how the education has been structured. So unlike the normal traditional education with Nexford, currently I'm working, whatever thing I learn, I'm able to practice it right away. So I don't wait for some period of time before I get employed or before I practice what I learn. So I'm able to practice what I learn at the same time learning new things to be able to practice later. Okay. And then also the coursework, how the websites or the app has been designed in a way that I'll be able to learn flexibly. I'll be able to do my coursework flexibly and then submit all my assignments and especially the projects and then the case studies. All this learning journey has given me a new tune of how education is being done, because using PowerPoint to do videos, using other softwares to do assignments like the DBMN, I didn't know anything about that. So throughout this learning journey and getting to know all these things has also opened my mind to some of the tools I can use in my business. Okay, so these are some of the things that has really helped me. And also we cannot take off the diverse or the global community Nexford offers. Being able to get in touch with somebody from a different place, trying to create network with a person that could also extend even your employability status or getting resources from that particular person, wherever that person is. And when it comes to some of the challenges that I've passed through as when I started my studies, it has to do with being able to balance my academics or whatever thing you are doing with studying at Nexford. But then to be able to cope up with balancing my academics and also studying at Nexford, the flexibility, as I mentioned earlier, the flexibility of the learning process makes it easy for me to be able to balance it, because I can decide to learn late in the evening and come to work early in the morning, do my assignments on weekends, being able to get ready and come to work on Monday or within the week. And then also trying to master and understand the Nexford, that's the Canvas software. Okay, so as a beginner, sometimes when you open the website, it becomes like it tends to be a dicey something. You don't understand where should I tap, where can I find my colleagues, where can I find how can I send message to my tutors, how can I submit assignments, you see. But the success team is there. There are other videos, just like this online webinar, that will educate you on these are the measures or these are the processes you have to follow to be able to understand the website. So I followed all this process and I was able to get much details on how I was able to navigate the Nexford Learning website. So I would say overall, my experience has been incredibly rewarding, and the skills I've gained in Nexford throughout my studies is invaluable for my career. And then as I'm still a student, I hope to be able to discover more opportunities, because this MBA I'm pursuing does not only give me a certificate, but it also adds value and give me additional skills to be able to employ it in my business. Thank you very much.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that, Abdul Shakur. I hope that that's also given everybody a better idea, really, of the learning experience as a whole. I'd love to ask Olaoluwa as well, if you can tell everybody, how your Nexford program has changed your life so far.
All right, thank you for my being an expert. And I still emphasize that I tout it everywhere is the access to opportunities, the privilege of expanding and growing my network, meeting a lot of people. It has helped me. And as next one is I'll call it the 21st century university and post-COVID. It makes me fraternize with people easily. Oh, you're an Nexford student, you're an Nexford alumnus, and then it has opened to even as a student, it has opened a couple of doors for me right now. I've met a whole lot of people, I've met seniors, and we've been able to interact as Nexford students, as Nexford learners, and another thing about the my learning I really appreciate the next word is that the ability to measure and track my progress. So as I'm being assessed, I can see, okay, what score do I also need to achieve an A? Okay, so if I'm going to fall below this score, it means I'm not going to get that. I track my progress, and it makes me know the efforts I'm going to put in to my academic efforts. I'm sorry, to my academic success. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing, Olaoluwa. Okay, I guess the final question I have for you is that, do you have any final advice for current or aspiring learners?
Yes. So Nexford is an online community. It's not just a university. And I would advise anybody who would want to start Nexford to start now. Start now. Think about it and start now. It helps you in immense ways. I've not written research. I've not done a lot of papers in a very long time. And to be very honest, it has helped me in my writing. It has improved my writing skills. It has immensely improved my writing skills. It has immensely improved my analytical skills too. So my advice for anybody to start next one is to start now. Thank you very much.
Amazing. Thank you. I couldn't have said it better. Thanks so much, Olaoluwa. Okay, I think I want to ask Abdul Shakur as well. Have you got any final advice for current or aspiring learners?
All right, so my advice I would say to all aspiring learners is to embrace the flexibility that Nexford University offers, and then manage to be able to manage your time effectively. So as Olaoluwa said, you have to start now. So try as much as possible and set a consistent, steady schedule that will help whatever thing you are doing currently. Either you are working, either you are not employed, whatever thing you are doing. Try as much as possible to be committed to Nexford learning whatever thing that's your professors or you will come across. Try to make sure you get to understand it. Make sure you let the school pass through you so that you'll be able to understand, even though you are doing it online, it is much effective and just like the traditional way of learning. And now that we are in the technological world, we need to stay proactive in our learning because education very soon, next 4 years is 21st century education very soon. All these universities will be applying most of their courses online. And also, as a coming learner, being able to build your network is one thing that is going to help you. So by joining Nexford University, you're able to build your network with fellow learners that can provide academic support to you and then also professional opportunities. So you can be in Nigeria, you get some opportunity either in the US, in Ghana, or any other part of the world. So lastly, I'll tell you to stay motivated and remember your long-term goals, as the skills and knowledge you will learn from Nexford or you gain here will be incredibly valuable to you in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Abdul Shakur. All right, guys, I think that really wraps up the webinar today, which means we can start taking some questions live. I know a lot of them have been answered already in the background. I can see 23 answered questions already. So if anybody has any pending questions, now is the time to send them in. We can start with the first one we have here. Okay, and an anonymous attendee is asking, how do employers and industry view the credibility and relevance of the online certificate versus a non-online university degree? I do have a response for this, but I would love to, I know Dr. Bill, I really honestly like your responses to these types of questions often. So if you can chime in here, maybe with some of your, your expertise and provide some advice in regards to online and non-online university degree.
Thank you. That is a very good question, and one that I've answered over 25 years. 25 years ago, I would have said it's new, it's different. Yes, you learn, but it's being challenged by more traditional universities. Today, in May of 2024, we are dead equal. The transition over the last years have gone from the point where traditional universities with campuses and the trees and the lights and everything used to look down on it. Now they want to know what we're doing. Now we are part of it. You notice that every on-campus type university has an online division now. Almost 99% of them do. The quality now in the program has dramatically increased since the early days of online learning, and that's verifiable through the accreditation that Nexford University holds and that other fine universities hold. There's many good universities, but Nexford is accredited by one of the major accrediting bodies here in the United States, recognized by business, recognized by government, meaning also that your credits are transferable. If you choose to pursue some other degree in another institution, your transferability is important. So to answer your question, I think the view, the perception of online learning is equal to and or exceeding others, because we live in a technology developed and presentation area where other colleges may not. So I think we have moved to a point where we can have an edge over other areas that may not have started and may not have the experience that we present here at Nexford University.
Agreed. Yeah, I really couldn't have said it better. So thank you, Dr. Bill. And I want to add to that, maybe I can compile it with a question we had about accreditation. So Nexford is accredited by the Distance Education Accrediting Commission, which is the DEAC for short. The DEAC is listed by the U.S. Department of Education as a recognized accrediting agency and is also recognized by the Council for Higher Education Accreditation, or CHIA for short. So DEAC accreditation or DEAC accreditation certifies that Nexford is legitimate and can provide high quality education that meets U.S. online university standards. So it should be easier for you to use Nexford credentials to enroll in programs at other institutions or maybe transfer credits to another university and so on. So I just want to let everybody know about that as well. All right. Okay, here I have a question about the MBA, which is, do we have a dissertation for the MBA International Business Program? So in general, no, we do not have a thesis or dissertation in our MBA, regardless of the specialization, but there will be a capstone project, which you can choose to be with an entrepreneurial focus or an entrepreneurial focus towards the end of your MBA. So I will share with you the link also to our curriculum for the MBA, so you can have a better idea about that. All right, this is a good question I think I've not seen before in the last 4 years from Kingsley, which is my question goes through, apart from assessments, are there other ways of earning extra points? So I'd love to leave this question maybe for one of the learners or Dr. Bill. Anybody can feel free to answer this.
Well, I can add a little bit to that. I think the courses here at Nexford have progressed to the point where we are full of useful information and the need for additional material is not there. However, in many courses, in many of the various modules, there's information about additional learning that is available to you. Probably the most important area would be the professor that's instructing that particular course, who has the expertise, or he or she has the expertise to connect other relevant information that may be more pertinent to an individual learner. So yes and no. Is it required? No. It is good to have? Yes, for your particular needs.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree completely, Dr. Bill. Yes, so there won't be a need for earning extra points. Once you know, if you get the full mark, you get the full mark, right? On any assessment. So yeah. Let's go on. Okay, so Ezra has a question also. Apart from accreditation by DEAC in the US, what international accreditation or recognition does Nexford degree or certificate have? So for that, I will send you a link to our website so you can be able to see all the different recognitions that we have. I'll share this information with you on chat because it is a lot aside from the, international accreditation or recognition. It is important to note, though, that if you're seeking specific recognition in the country that you're at, remember that Nexford has learners from over 110 countries around the world. So it's not easy at this stage to have regional accreditation in each one of those countries, right? It takes a process that takes a lot of time, but that's not to say that we're not already recognized by a lot of entities around the world. And proof enough is that us, having, learners from over 110 countries around the world right now, right? If you want to see if it is recognized by specific companies or entities within your community in your country, I will always recommend you contact them directly because everybody has different requirements to what they recognize. Right. So having said that, let me just send you in on the chat as well the different information about our accreditation as well as the link to our website. All right. Non-attendee. Let's see, what's the next one? If I'm not able to pay my tuition fee in a month, will I still have access to learning? So unfortunately, if you are not able to pay tuition, of course, first of all, let us know as soon as possible so that our team may be able to help you to see when you may be able to resume your studies, but you will need to pause your program, right? So if you're not able to pay tuition for the next intake or the next month, rather, your access will pause for the moment until you're able to pay tuition for the next intake. So yes, that will be my response to that. And the same applies if you're voluntarily pausing your program, right? Whether it be because you cannot pay tuition, or maybe you need, maybe you're getting married, maybe you're having some life event and this happens, it's happened a lot, you have some sort of life event you need to focus on, so you can just pause your program. Of course, you will not be paying tuition for that portion of time that you've paused your program. Right. Adelaide is asking, does a certificate in digital transformation have any proctored exams? Certificates, no. It's my understanding it's only for degree programs. So anything that's more than a year and a half, 4 years for the BBA and so on, but not the single courses or the short certificates. Zainab is asking, can I still pay my tuition fee by September? Certainly, because we accept learners every single month. We have intakes every single month. So whenever it's suitable for you, we'll be more than happy to welcome you to our global learner community when, it's best to get enrolled once you're financially ready to be able to commit to that per month as well, right? So the only thing I think you may possibly miss out on is if we have any running promotions in a specific month with a certain deadline, if you're able to enroll at this time, you can join this intake for this amount or something like that, but there's absolutely no limitation to when it is you can pay tuition to join that intake. I think for joining for September, you can pay as early as I think June, July, August, September. Yeah, as early as June, sometime in June, and then you can still choose the intake being September. But you cannot enroll this month for a September start date, is my understanding. So yes. I love this question from Olaoluwa saying, can I be an affiliate? How? That's amazing that you'd like to help promote Nexford's mission, right? So that would be amazing. Just send us an email at help@nexford.org and we'll connect you with the right team for that. All right. Adelaide also would love to know, if I pay by using a credit or debit card, will any subsequent payments be automatically debited from my account, or would I have to do it myself monthly? It would be automatic. So if you have that in the system, so just make sure you're using a card that you want to use every single month. If you plan to change it at any point, just let us know. I think it gets deducted. I'm not too sure if it's the 20th, but it's within the last, I think, 7 to 10 days of each month. I'll need to check with our team regarding the exact amount of time, but you'll be fully informed, of course, beforehand. There are reminders also before it gets deducted from your account and things like that. So yeah, the simple answer is it will be automatic, so you don't have to do it monthly. Hi, Daniel from Nigeria, interested in an MBA in cybersecurity. That's a great choice. So for all of those saying that they have interest in certain programs, I hope you all know how to get started already at Nexford. So I'm going to share with everybody just the steps if in case you're still getting started choosing the program that you wish to enroll in. So let me share with you the basic steps, just how to select a program, how to check the admission requirements to make sure that you meet them and that you hopefully have a successful application. If you do, you'll get a positive admissions decision within 1 to 7 days. The clearer your application is, let's say your names match on all of your documents, you're using an international passport instead of a national ID, because that's easier and faster to process. But we do accept different forms of identification, proof of identification. Just check out all the admission requirements. Speak with the Nexford application specialist. We're always available. Send us an email, send us a WhatsApp message. We're there to assist you with your application journey. Once you get accepted, the next step is getting enrolled. So I've just shared with everybody just the basic steps of how to get started. In case you haven't already gotten started, there's even a step-by-step video through the application process. And finally, I want to share with you also a PDF that you can download, which has text and pictures and everything that guides you through the application and enrollment process step by step. All right, so let me share that with you on chat as well. So please make sure, guys, to download that. That's super useful to have at hand. I think it helps a lot with the application journey. All right, final question here we'll take, guys, and I think we can maybe wrap up the call today from Christiana. The program is to start by June 1. When will it be rounded off? If you mean when the program is going to end, this depends on the program that you've chosen, because we have an average duration for every program. And again, it's an average because anybody can finish faster or slower. So sorry, Christiana, I'm not too sure which program you are referring to. I might have missed it somewhere in the chat. But if you want to speak about duration, just also please send us a WhatsApp message or an email. We'll send again the contact information again on chat shortly, just so everybody make sure to keep that on their end. Our help@nexford.org email address, so you can speak with our help team, or our WhatsApp number, and you can send us a message and we'll assist you as soon as possible. There you go. It's on the webinar chat, guys. All right, and I think let's wrap it up here. I'm so sorry if we didn't get to all of the questions today, guys, but you've had some great questions. I can see already 41 that's been answered in the background, which is amazing. So I thank also our Nexford application specialist helping us in the background, and a big, big thanks to Dr. Bill, Abdul, Shakur, and Olaoluwa. Also, you guys were fantastic. I loved hearing, of course, from your expertise, Dr. Bill, and as well from your experience, Abdul, Shakur, and Olaoluwa. So thanks so much for taking the time from your day or afternoon also today to help me co-host this webinar. All right, guys, thanks again, everybody, for joining. We wish that everybody will join us in the next intake. A final reminder of the enrollment deadline being the 28th of this month. You need to complete your application and enrollment on or before the 28th if you wish to start your Nexford journey with us on June 1. So that is something to mark on your calendar, and don't hesitate to reach out to us. I wish everybody the best of luck, and a special thanks again for everybody for joining us today. And I hope you enjoyed this Nexford Virtual Tour today. So thanks again, everyone, and have a good day or good afternoon. Bye, everyone.